I'm the Beer City Bruiser, one half of Ring of Honor's The Bouncers. So crack open a beer because you're listening to the RW Wrestling Podcast. Cheers. Oh, and you boys at the RW Wrestling Podcast, I hope you're enjoying yourselves. You wanted to see a moonsault from the good old Beer City Bruiser? Well, I'll tell you what. Since I've been locked up in quarantine, I've been working on the moonsault. So tune in to Ring of Honor TV when I bust it out.
For the Bruiser.
For the Bruiser.
For the Bruiser.
All right, cheers, boys. Chris, get a little closer.
All right, yep. A little closer.
Intro us. What are we doing?
All right, we are doing the Beer City Bruiser / Death Before Dishonor watch party review.
2019.
The first match that we had for the night was a Fatal 4-Way match from... What was the show?
Man, you came prepared.
I brought stuff. Unauthorized 2017 in Milwaukee. It was a Fatal 4-Way with Shane Taylor, Damian Martinez, Beer City Bruiser, and Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Soon to be Veggie Burger when he turns heel.
Right, when he turns heel.
I
Nice.
rated that match 6 out of 10.
Dude, the Bruiser's in it. Automatically 1 star higher.
The Bruiser won.
Yeah? Okay, 2 stars higher. The Bruiser won. Fucking 8 out of 10.
Cheeseburger
Future.
took some sick-ass bumps between the 3 big men.
Bruiser.
Yeah, he took that cannonball, and I believe Taylor took him. I don't know if it was a Samoan drop or whatever.
Martinez took that one cannonball. That was horrible.
But he also, I think, Cheese took that bump where I think he was thrown into somebody who was sitting in the turnbuckle. I forget who was who, but
So there was the cannonball spot where Bruiser had Cheeseburger on his back and he ran
that's
into
what I was
Martinez.
thinking of. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
And
That
then
was
there's this
amazing.
off the ring apron one where Martinez didn't catch him properly.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
There was the heart punch that turned into a Samoan drop spot.
No, yeah. Taylor had him up. I think he brought him down.
Oh, Taylor was the one who did the heart punch to get him down.
Gotcha. And then he clotheslined the shit out of him, right?
Yep.
Is that what it was? Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go 7. I didn't mind the first match, mostly because I was excited. I haven't seen any of these guys wrestle.
Let's just be fair though, Bruiser doesn't do a moonsault.
Bruiser, can you please give us a moonsault next time?
But I tell you what, Bruiser, you're freaking more athletic than I could ever be. So all the props in the world, sir.
I agree with that.
Anybody that can do all
crossbody-
that and then drink a beer in the middle of the ring.
Crossbody off the top rope, that was a great one. Oh, by the way, you are a winner in my book, and you were a winner today.
He spit beer into Cheese's face.
Yeah, he took the beer and held it. I think the ref took the beer away, and then he spit the beer in the Cheese's face. I think that's how that went.
Well, that was a different match.
That's the other Cheeseburger match.
Oh, there's so many. Oh yeah, that's right. There's so many Bruiser matches we got
But hey,
to deal with.
we got to think about one thing, boys. None of these matches that we watched, the Bruiser matches or the Death Before Dishonor show, there was no roll-up finishes.
Nope, you're right. They were all clean. Well,
Wow.
as clean as you could get.
Whatever the fuck that taking match was.
So then,
Yeah.
Legend, what would you give this Fatal 4-Way?
Solid 6, the right man won.
Then we had the Defy or Deny Fatal 4-Way match,
The better of the 2 Fatal 4-Ways.
elimination
Yeah,
style.
that's for
Dalton
sure.
Castle, Damian Martinez, Beer City Bruiser, and Marty Scurll.
Squirrel.
Marty Scurll wins, 8 out of 10, I thought.
I'll still say 7.5. And we got the same Beer City Bruiser highlights.
Yeah,
Malones came out. He tried to take out the boys, and Dalton called him a motherfucker.
The comedy spot.
the comedy spot where the umbrella got switched to different people. Skrull had it first, and he's like, "I didn't do it." Tosses it to one of the boys, and Malonis turns around and like the one boy who had it, like, "I didn't do it."
Tossed it to the other boy.
Tossed it to the other boy.
And then Dalton screams at him.
Yeah.
Those are my boys,
These are-
motherfucker.
yeah.
And then they get Malonis out of the ring, and it's like, "Throw me a boy!" Like, what the fuck?
And he does twice.
Yep, so then, actually, this is the fun spot of the match. Martinez jumps. Actually, does Bruiser jump first, or is it Martinez?
Bruiser's the last one to jump.
because Malonis gets completely out of the way when Bruiser jumps.
Yeah.
Which is
Bruiser
amazing, because
Bruiser
normally the
wasn't-
tag team partner gets hit too.
Bruiser wasn't involved in the Martinez spot.
Unfortunately, Bruiser was eliminated first.
Yeah, but the match pretty much ended after that. They went pretty.
That's why I stopped taking notes.
The chicken wing was
Chicken
great.
wing.
Dalton Castle lost. That was fine.
This made no sense.
It was an impressive win by all four of those competitors.
They all won.
Who won again?
SCURLL.
Oh, that's right. So
But it
SCURLL.
was the non-title one,
Right, but he gets a title shot in the future.
And that was from Defy.
which he also doesn't win.
That was from Defy or Deny 2000 or Masters of Craft 2018. Then the last match we watched was a Conquest Tour in Chicago Ridge, Illinois, 2015. Beer City Bruiser versus
greatest
Cheeseburger.
singles match of all time.
Of all time, this could main event WrestleMania.
Beer City
Should.
Bruiser and Cheeseburger.
Yeah. The
Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart eat your heart out.
this match showed how good Cheeseburger is because he and Bruiser put together it was good.
That made
I enjoyed
sense.
it. It made sense.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I would go 7.5. I'm not gonna say 8. It's nowhere near the classic we would like it to be, except in our own minds.
Beer
I
City
mean-
Bruiser, you won. The ref took your beer, who was a bitch.
Yeah.
I know how it would be a 10 out of 10 though.
Moonsault.
Moonsault.
Bruiser does a moonsault, and mid-match, Cheeseburger turns heel and turns into Veggie Burger.
Yeah.
You had some good commentary though by Steve Carino on there. A lot of fast food references.
I couldn't hear really what the announcers were saying half the time, but I was more watching the match than anything else.
We love you, Bruiser.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you later, Bruiser.
We had Death Before Dishonor.
We will see you
2019.
And
All right.
Another match that he wins.
We started it off with Rhett Titus and Cheeseburger versus Coast to Coast.
Pre-show, where it was almost like watching a Famous Raw.
I gave this match 6 out of 10. It was average.
At best.
I mean, it wasn't great. Rhett Titus looked really good though.
Yeah, he had a couple of good spots. Unfortunately, no heat killed the match just because it was an
No crowd.
I'm sorry, no crowd.
You know, I'm
sorry.
amazed that.
But it was a pre-show match, so that's honestly that's what you expect. And they still did good despite it. They still did all the facials. They still did all the Hulk ups or the comebacks and all that stuff. So good for them. But yeah, I'm not gonna go higher than
I'm
6.
surprised I'll give it a 7 just because the big dude that was always on camera that was in the crowd was not in the crowd for this match.
So he automatically just kills a star every time you see him stand up with
That's great.
Every time we had to say sit down.
I know, but I mean, luckily, and I guess I was doing that because I'm trying to speak as a person who's sitting behind him. Like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, sit down, please.
Well, not even behind them because that's the front row, and then they get up and stand 2 feet in front of the front row, and they block the other people that are in the front
Yeah,
row.
I would have thrown
Not
a beer
even
at
just the
him.
people behind them.
I would have taken Bruiser's beer and thrown it at him.
Then we had another pre-show match, but this is actually a really good match.
Yeah.
I
Brody,
tried to figure out
Brody
why-
King and Jeff Cobb.
Why it was on the pre-show.
Coast to Coast won that other match, by the way.
Jeff Cobb kind of had.
Jeff Cobb won.
He kind of had to jump on a plane or something because why he was on the pre-show. He like Brock Lesnar did. I'm going out there now.
Well, it's funny you say that because the match went like 15, almost 20 minutes.
It felt like
really
a main
good.
show card.
Yeah. The two big dudes just friggin' killing each other. Cobb had a great suplex earlier. Brody came with it. I think it was a German.
When they did their shoulder tackle bit, it was cool until they did it for another minute and a half.
Yeah. I think Brody hit a crossbody off the top rope or something like that. And then what did I put here? Sorry, my handwriting sucks so bad I can't read it.
I can't read yours.
Oh yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah. That one spot where Cobb did that suplex and it looked like about to do a brain buster,
Yep.
and then he immediately got up and then did a standing moonsault. I thought it was a great spot.
That was the end of the match, or towards the end.
Yeah.
One of two of the eyes.
Another one I said was when Jeff Cobb is in the 619 position and Brody King does the cannonball spot while he's in the 619 position. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was the spot where they kept trading German suplexes,
Yeah.
where one would get up and do a German, then the other one would get up and do a German.
Yeah.
Not selling the Germans whatsoever.
Yeah, that's I mean, despite how I feel about that kind of stuff, it still looked really cool. I enjoyed it.
These big men, though, they were a little gassed.
Yeah, but they still 15 minutes and they're still doing dueling Germans. They're like
Well,
12, 13 minutes in.
It's a
Tour of
mix
the
between
Islands was
two having those two big men and just how fast paced, like it was a faster pace for two people than you thought it would be that were that size.
That's what. Well, I mean, like it was like 5 minutes in, and I'm looking at Cobb like he's gassed already, but maybe he wasn't. Who knows?
Tour of the Islands won the match. Jeff Cobb won. I gave it a 7.5.
That's about where I was at.
Legend, what do you think?
Yeah, it's probably about there because I don't have that much experience with Jeff Cobb either.
So then we opened the show with COLT CABANA and Marty SCURLL.
Whoop whoop. I honestly thought it was a good match to open the card, even if it wasn't for the tournament. In the tournament.
Well, it was in the tournament.
It was in the tournament.
Was the first match of the tournament.
Yeah, I said even if it wasn't in a tournament.
Oh, even if it wasn't, okay.
Yeah, it would still have been a great opening match. I think the first thing I noticed, it was a great combo of the comedy, which COLT CABANA does, and SCURLL does as well, or did as well. I don't know if he does it all the time or not, but he did in that match.
And it depends on his opponent.
And I guess he adapts to his opponent pretty well.
I know. I heard you say during the match, like even with all the comedy bits, COLT can wrestle.
Yeah,
There was
both
quite
those guys are awesome.
There was I said on here that there was a great mix of comedy and chain wrestling, which was great.
Yeah.
Black Plague won that match in the end for Marty SCURLL.
That's the kind of it was the kind of comedy wrestling match that's like over the top. It wasn't like a Dustin versus Spears double or nothing comedy match.
And I gave that an 8.
There's
Words.
It was the chain wrestling at the beginning, right? So then
Yeah.
they had two comedy spots. It was the part where Cabana was bridging and SCURLL kept trying to break it and he couldn't do it.
And he looked like he was humping him.
Yeah. And then Cabana at some point does the wings. I don't know what that's supposed to signify.
That's the Superman pin.
Well, there's that, but no, he's talking about when he mocked.
Oh, when he's mocking Marty doing the bird
yeah.
flap. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he's mocking Marty doing that. There was a reversal of submissions. I think it was the crippler into that weird Boston Crab thing.
The reverse crab.
The reverse crab, yeah. It doesn't look like it hurts because it doesn't look like it really bends you in any kind of way, but still it looks cool.
That's one of COLT's finishing moves.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, like there's
Yeah,
more
it's a
ridiculous moves to win with. It just didn't look like it would hurt, but it looks cool.
I like this Superman pin combo too.
Superman pin. It's just to see him hit it.
Is that the one where he flies at you?
And he catches him with his leg.
Yeah, I wrote that down here. I was about to say that because he knows his character. And like 19 years in wrestling, you got to know your character by then, and that's why COLT CABANA is so good. And yeah, SCURLL won with the Black Plague, and I give that match an 8. I thought it was really good.
And Legend, what would you give that match?
7.5. Cause I'm not as high on COLT CABANA as you guys are.
You've probably seen more COLT CABANA than me. It's the first time I've really seen him in a match that wasn't like a tag match. I've only seen him in, the other match was a tag match.
Well, the other match that you saw him in was actually not even him. It was the AEW pre-show where he just came out at the end.
Oh, well, there you go.
So then
he came out after the match.
Then we had the no DQ match. Kenny King versus PCO.
Ooh.
So, I forgot, why did Kenny King want this to be a no DQ match?
Because he said, why do I want to fight someone in a wrestling match that's not even a man?
The other point I have with this is why is a match that's in this tournament different than the other matches that is in the tournament?
Well, I think that was the idea.
It might have been the only no disqualification one of the matches in the tournament, though.
I believe it was.
That's why it doesn't make sense.
All right, PCO.
Wow. I love his character.
Yeah, it's freaking cool. It's definitely different. It's like when Matt Hardy had his broken Matt Hardy. People scoffed at it at first. And what are you doing? And it doesn't make any sense. But it does if you just let it breathe and let it develop and take time with it all.
The quite literal suicide dive.
Yeah.
The short circuit one.
The best part of the match. PCO is in the ring and he starts the short circuit. You can tell he's going, oh my God, with his head. And then he goes for a running dive on Kenny King. He hits the exact opposite side of the ring. So he just hits nothing.
And he just dead for like 4 minutes.
I wrote down PCO, short circuit, what the fuck. It's still outstanding. It's great.
It's a good what the fuck, though.
Yeah. I think PCO was still on the outside of the ring. And then King puts those two ladders up and does that corkscrew plancha or whatever you want to call it.
That was cool.
That looked really fucking... Kenny King's a
corkscrew
monster
dive.
of those kind of moves. I've only seen 2 matches and I can tell. I mean, like, these guys are able to go all out. I guess in WWE you can get away with that stuff only if you're the only guy doing it.
Yeah.
But like I guess in Ring of Honor you have the liberty to call the match how you want.
I
Oh,
literally
you bring
feel
up you
like
bring up WWE. I'd say like if you watch Ricochet outside of WWE, you'd think it was even more impressive than what he does.
I literally think for Ring of Honor they
I believe
they say, hey, X person you're gonna win. You guys make your own match. I don't think they give them any direction.
But they wouldn't do
Pretty
this.
much what AEW does.
But like if there's an agent in the back and they say and then they find out they're doing a spot that maybe someone in the main event is doing, they'll probably nix it and they have to change it up, I imagine.
I've seen main events where they do the same spot as something earlier in the night, and
Okay.
the fans still love it because it's two different people.
It depends on the. It depends if you remember the spot too. Like, you can see something happen in the first match, you won't remember it happening in the last match.
That's true.
And
Kenny King almost killed himself.
the finish was weird.
They
It was
went-
still cold, but it's just dumb heels. I mean,
Well, actually, no. You got no. He's talking about.
I'm talking about
He's talking about the other spot
when he went
where
for the sunset flip, and he basically pulled PCO on top of him, and
He
almost
did.
broke his neck.
oh yeah.
And he flipped over the ropes and was
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
do the
PCO
sunset
with him.
powerbomb,
I forgot to write that down.
and he just fucking crushed his own head.
Well, luckily it was okay. He seemed
Oh, yeah.
okay, like right away. So
Then we had the end.
yeah.
First, Kenny King grabs a bottle of water from Amy Rose, pours it all over PCO, grabs a cattle prod from her, and starts shocking PCO, which just charges PCO right back up,
Yeah.
gives him a choke slam.
And that's it.
1, 2,
Oh,
3.
he chokes him out while
PCO
he's doing
wins. And then he's
I
choking
still
him
don't
out
know how that. I
afterwards.
still don't know how that's a pin though, because the entire time he's choking him out, he's like swarming on the ground. So, like, how is his shoulders down if he's moving it?
Well, and then he keeps choking him out after the match is over. And then this is the best part of that. Todd Sinclair grabs PCO's hand to raise it.
Yeah.
He gets shocked.
and sells
A
it.
shocked, he says.
He gets shocked, and he's selling the shock.
Even when he's leaving the ring, you can still see him shaking his hand like, "Oh my God, that hurt so bad."
I gave this match a 7.5.
Yeah, I don't think it was better than the Cabana match, which is weird though, because like PCO is so interesting. I want to see more of him. He becomes champion at some point after this, correct?
Correct.
So his character is way over. So I'm intrigued going forward. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tie it with the previous match.
I'm
Legend,
going
what are
down
you
again.
thinking?
I'm going to stay at 7.
You're going to say it's 7? Alright. The next match, ROH Women's title match,
Oof.
Kelly Klein versus Angelina Love.
Oofed. Anorexic Angelino.
Kelly
Yeah,
Klein was looking
I
good.
don't know what happened, but she definitely looks like she lost a lot of weight compared to when.
I have to ask you, Chris. Kelly Klein, is she better as a heel or a face? I would imagine she's
Heel.
better as a heel for sure. Yeah. And does she go back to being a heel at some point?
Yes.
Okay. Because it looks like she's the same character regardless. So I don't think she changes the facial expressions
Not
as a
much,
face.
no.
I think
so-
But this was a kind of a more of a blood feud because the Allure, which Angelina Love is part of,
Yeah.
had been blindsiding her for months.
The hairspray
Yep.
and all that nonsense.
Yep. With the hairspray.
There's only
and
like the
whatnot.
two things I have. Like I said, this match wasn't that good to me. It's better than the one from Supercard of Honor, but I only really have the two moments is noticing how drastically different Angelina Love looks, and then the one time she got thrown against a barricade, which happens a lot in this show. But when she did, I literally just went, okay. It actually sounded like a really.
Well, there
fun
was the dive that Kelly Klein did on the ring apron onto Mandy Leon and
Yeah, there was that.
Angelina Love, where they
Yep.
both sold it, which was good.
That was that crossbody. I think it was off the apron.
Yep.
And I was right at the beginning. And honestly, like, I lost. I got distracted. We were talking about something else. We were talking about, I think, SummerSlam 90.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm looking up, and Angelina Love has the title. So honestly, I didn't pay. So obviously, I don't think this match was very good. So
Angelina Love
You
won.
responded right beforehand when they did the hairspray spot, and they got both of them.
They did the hairspray spot where they sprayed Kelly Klein with it.
But they also sprayed Angelina Love because the way they booked it in, she kept spraying it after Kelly Klein walked away.
Well, technically they got Kelly twice and they got Angelina once. Because Kelly Klein originally got hit, eventually comes back from it. Angelina gets hit because they were going for Kelly and Kelly moved. And then they hit hit Kelly again. And then Angelina Love wins after a boot to the face.
So she won with 2 hairsprays to Kelly Klein's 1, and therefore she won the title. Got
Yeah,
it.
and I believe that was a 6 out of 10. But then the lights
Yeah,
go
okay,
out,
yep.
and we get the line of the night. Caprice Coleman says, Ian Riccaboni, you got to start paying that electric bill.
I'm tired of this. And then who was it?
Maria Manic.
She looks fantastic.
She comes out and starts dominating. She beats Angelina Love. She beats Mandy Leon, and she beats all the male security guards.
Yeah.
Choke slams abound.
Yeah.
Has a tattoo that says Man Eater right on her stomach.
Good for her.
Bray Wyatt, Eater of Worlds.
Yeah.
Maria Manic.
So this,
Eater of Men.
where did Maria Manic come from?
I have no idea. But this bitch looks tough.
Is she still in ROH?
Yes.
Oh, I think she would have loved hearing you call her a bitch.
Hey.
No.
ODB likes to be called a bitch.
ODB's pretty much a man.
ODB's kind of hot. I mean, like, well, maybe at the time of TNA when I was watching it, she was okay. I don't know what she looks like now.
You want to go down on that 5-minute conversation about how hot you think ODB is?
From which looked in the ring, sure, I don't care. She can crush me like a grape, but I don't care.
Oh God.
So the ending saved it for me a little bit. I mean, I'm sure they were working, their best beloved climb working as well as they could, but I lost interest, and I hate to say I did, so I can only give it a 5.
I gave it a 6. I mean, it's better than the Supercard of Honor match, but those two could have had a better match.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. That's all I gotta say. I'm not even gonna rate it.
But the Maria Manic part, that was awesome. Then, to me, it's the match of the night.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gresham versus Jay Lethal.
I agree.
It had a nice story behind it. Pretty much, they used to be in a mentor relationship where Jonathan Gresham's mentor was Jay Lethal. Jonathan Gresham started going down a wrong path, started cheating to win matches because he said the honorable way wasn't getting him anywhere. So Lethal's trying to snap him back into starting to do the right thing again. This match, a lot of chain wrestling, perfect.
Yeah.
What
It
do
was
you
quite
gotta
good,
say,
especially
Albert?
the
You
end.
got notes.
Well, just for the story itself, I thought it was fantastic. That's been a trope of angles before, the mentor and the rookie, whatever you want to call it. And the first
the mentor
one
and the rookie, Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
Well, that's one too. But I'm gonna go way back with this reference. I'm gonna go way back.
Backwards.
I'm gonna go back to Bruno Sammartino and Larry Zbyszko. It was Larry Zbyszko's coming out party, and the way he did it is that he became jealous of Bruno Sammartino's attention that he wasn't getting because he was his student, and he said, "You know what? I'm better than you, and I'm gonna beat your ass, Bruno." And sure enough, I don't know exactly the exact details, but I think it culminated in a steel cage match at some point in I think like 1980. I could be wrong about that. I apologize to fans who know better, whoever's listening. But it's good, and the way the match ended,
Bruiser.
well, the way match continued through the middle is that there was that spot where like Gresham had that coming of truth moment with the chair. Lethal talked him down. I thought it was going to go a different way, but apparently at the end they shook hands, and that's why I'm glad the match stayed scientific. But it got to be a fight, which I enjoyed for the 5 minutes.
It got to be a fight at that part.
Yeah.
One thing that Albert loved is Jay Lethal's going for the figure 4. Jonathan Gresham takes Jay Lethal's leg and keeps it up in the air so he can't officially lock it in. He
was really
blocks
cool.
it. You never see that.
No.
And then on top of that, at one point in time, Jonathan Gresham's got the submission hold locked in where Jay Lethal's arms are behind his back. Then he starts grabbing his leg, wrenching the leg. And he starts twisting the ankle at the exact same time. So he's putting pressure on 4 different parts of the body at one move.
Including an arm that's already been beat up.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole ending, like 3 or 4 minutes, was very fucking smooth at the end, where they're transitioning back and forth, and then you got him in the octopus submission.
Well, and then there was, how many attempts at the lethal injection where Gresham would either dodge it, he would smack him, or there was the one time where Lethal couldn't hit it because of his arm.
Yeah, which is right before the transition out stuff.
Yeah.
There was the figure 4 where technically they have it, they roll outside of the ring, and they still have this figure 4 locked in after bouncing to the floor from the ring.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice little hard smack. I'm like, that had to hurt a little bit, but still, the legs were still there. They obviously separated after that, but it was still like, we're gonna just try to beat each other, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna talk about how that Octalock looks like it fucking hurts.
The Octalock is what won Gresham the match.
And it looks like it fucking hurts.
And overall, because we have a little bit of time here, this is both of your guys' second match of Jonathan Gresham. What'd you think?
Well, I think Jay and I guess ROH has a lot of trust in the guy because they took down what is probably one of the most decorated world champions they ever had, clean. And it was a very, very good match. I can say that. I will need to see more so I can really judge it.
The first ROH card we saw was in 2018. This was 2019, so it's more or less a year after he fought Chucky T. And he's not jerking the curtain in this one. He's actually got a main event match, which I knew what I wanted to say, and I'll get to it in a second. So he's not jerking the curtain with some other wrestler.
Invisible hand grenade, Chucky T.
He's in a more or less a good spot with Jay Lethal, and like we were talking about during the match, you went over Jay Lethal clean. You're going up the card.
Yep.
And now he's teaming with Jay Lethal in the
and so that comes back to my second point, and this is what you, Chris, is what you mentioned on the first card or the first podcast, is that you can be in the main event in one of them in one card, and then you could be jerking the curtain in the second one. That's how good these wrestlers are. And I want to say that like that's how good Jay Lethal is. In this match, he took a clean loss, told the story, executed everything, and yet he's going to be just as over as Jonathan Gresham. They're both over.
You mean the switching around? You're talking Jonathan Gresham, not Jay Lethal.
Oh, well,
Jay Lethal took the pin, but you're saying Jonathan Gresham can move up.
I'm getting what you're saying though.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Hold on a second. But see, Jay Lethal is that good that he can take a clean loss and still not have to worry about his push.
No.
That's the point I was going to make, because Jay Lethal doesn't lose anything by losing this match the way he did. And all Gresham does is gain from this.
And
Jay Lethal put him over.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
And actually put him over, because it wasn't like just, he beat this guy.
There's no
politicking.
There's no I'm going to lose my spot nonsense that you hear from like WWE or back when WCW was still around. No one's obviously worried about spots in this, because you're always going to have something. And something is better than nothing, but there's some people who have that idea that if you lose a match, you're going to lose your mystique or your spot.
And they think you're getting buried.
You're buried or whatever.
In Ring of Honor, they don't think about that at all. Ring of Honor, they think, hey, if I help Jonathan Gresham improve, that's going to improve me.
No, I think the thing, and we'll get to it when we get down to the world title, because some of the people that have held the title recently, but it's like, I think literally anybody can win the world title in ROH. Like Matt Taven, Dalton Castle, Roosh, PCO wins it at some point.
You look through their championship list, it's actually pretty damn impressive. Like at one point in time, Legend and I were looking at just the roster of who's won the title. Minus one or two people, we're like, holy shit, this might be the most prestigious
Jamie
wrestling
Noble.
title.
And he was still decent. He just never could never get over cruiserweight level on.
Jamie Noble just in WWE was never given a chance.
Yeah, James Gibson held the title for like a year.
Who?
I don't remember how long it was.
It's Jamie Noble.
Oh,
before
it wasn't a year, but it wasn't.
It was a pretty long time.
It was a decent reign, but they've had like Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe was one that had the title
Austin
forever.
Aries, CM Punk, Christopher Daniels, Jay Briscoe, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, Jerry Lynn, Nigel McGuinness.
It's funny because Styles never won it.
It's sort of related to the NXT title. It's the who's who. All of them have gone to win something.
Minus Bo Dallas and.
Well, we had a tag title, right?
Yeah.
But that
Big E.
Yeah,
that's right. Big E has only won tag titles too.
Yeah,
he won the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, barely. When the title meant nothing, unfortunately.
It means more now if AJ's win than it has in a long time.
And who knows if that's going to work.
True.
So we'll see. I'm crossing fingers, but Daniel Bryan should have won that match. But that's beside the point. Either one of those guys could.
But I rated this match 9 out of 10.
I don't put anything at a 9 on this show, so I do 8.75.
I have to go 9 as well. I have to. It's a tournament match. They have a story.
Well, this one isn't even a tournament match. This is a story.
This is a story match.
Then I wrote that wrong. Sorry about that, guys. But like, it's a good match. It was a match with a great story. The wrestling was fantastic, and the finish was good. The finish could have gone either way. If Jay Lethal wins, Gresham becomes a heel more so than he was before. Lethal wins, and Gresham and they shake hands and they're okay.
Yeah.
It could have gone either way because they set it up. I don't know. I wonder if they called that in the ring, like who's going to win in the ring, because they were doing both aspects of the chain wrestling and then the actual fight when Gresham was getting frustrated. So I wonder if they called that in the ring. I don't know. It's all. I don't
Some
know.
matches do change based off of how the story's playing out in the ring and how the fans react to things. So sometimes, on rare occasions, they do something.
But both of these guys were over.
Yeah, and that's the point, and that's the bottom line, and that's awesome. Good job.
Good job, Jonathan
Pretty
Gresham.
let's put it.
You guys want to see more Gresham is what I'm hearing.
We have limited experience with the guy in 2 matches, and one was against Chuck E. T, so I don't really care. It's like, you have that little experience, and it's like, I like this guy. I'm in. If it only takes that long,
Yeah.
get behind somebody.
Hell, like the second I saw the Beer City Bruiser, I was like, I like this kid.
Welcome to this podcast.
Yeah.
Beer City Bruiser. Or the
Not
Bruiser.
a problem.
Speaking of the Bruiser,
Speaking of the Bruiser, we had a barroom brawl. Vinny Marseglia and Silas Young versus the Bouncers.
Bruiser.
I like the idea they started out fighting. When you have a grudge match, fuck the introductions. Get in there and start throwing fists.
Once they did that, showed the story where Vinny Marseglia takes the pliers and rips out Bruiser's teeth.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, gotta fight. And it was a fight all the way through. I didn't take any notes because I was just intrigued by watching it.
We almost got our moonsault, I can say.
I took some notes. So Brian Malonas gets, he got zip tied to the corner.
Yeah, that they brought out.
Knew that was temporary, but still, it was a good spot. But they didn't do much
Malonas
with
got
it.
out of it.
They didn't do much with it though.
Josh Woods was on commentary, aka Silas Young's actual tag team partner. There was the part of the match where Vinny Marseglia took out a bag and it had darts in it and hit Bruiser in the back with the darts.
That was a good spot. Really good spot.
That
And
was holy shit.
I was very surprised that they showed all the darts and the Bruiser's back, just because I don't know how PC ROH is, but they're not on a major cable company, right? Not like they're like sponsored.
They're owned by one.
They're owned by Sinclair.
Okay, well, so the sponsors aren't. Obviously, they're not worried about the sponsors giving the show a lot of backlash, or else they
No.
wouldn't have showed that at all.
Well, 3 out of the 4 bleed. Silas is the only one that doesn't bleed in the match.
True.
Yeah.
And then they had like the spot where they grabbed the extra ring turnbuckle holder or whatever from the bottom or from under the ring and started beating each other with that.
Yep.
Bruiser got beat with it. Marseglia got beat with it.
And that's how the other guy,
Malonas.
he got busted open from it.
Then they have the spot where they have the table outside the ring. Brian Malonas gets put on that table, and Vinny Marseglia hits the red rum swanton bomb through it.
Red rum.
I'm just glad the table didn't break when
The table did break. Oh yeah.
when he laid
Yeah.
on it.
I wonder if they reinforced it for that purpose somehow.
There was the superplex spot through that table.
Superplex spot.
I don't know. That one.
Bruiser.
It wasn't a table. It was
Oh,
the
yeah,
chairs.
through the chairs.
Yeah, okay,
through
okay,
the chairs,
yeah, okay.
sorry. Then Josh Woods, you can see him on camera going into the ring, taking Silas Young over his shoulder and taking him away.
I like that spot. It was fun.
But the
He's my partner.
the Bouncers get a win here, and because of the way that the match was set, I gave it an 8 because I thought it was entertaining.
For the Bruiser.
I'm gonna downgrade it to a 7, but that does not mean I was not entertained.
Oh, it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that there's all kinds of things that it wasn't built up to anything. It was just like they're beating each other up. I mean, you can't really climax things.
And I think I remember you saying this is why these people, these kind of like the Beer City Bruisers.
That's why they're here.
Like
And
this kind of match, you
Yeah.
can see it and it works.
So then, who would you say would be the MVP of that particular match?
It's always gonna be Bruiser.
He took a lot. He took the darts to his fucking ass. I mean, come on.
To
His back.
his
To his back, you know. But it's all
would
the
have been to
same
his
thing.
ass.
It's
That
all
would
the
have
same
been,
thing.
that would have been funnier.
Because he has no ass, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Bruiser, we don't mean you don't have any ass.
I think.
Doesn't get ass either.
I think he was despite my bias, I think he was the MVP of that match for sure.
He took a lot of good spots. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
But
Hey, anybody can kick a dart?
Legend,
to
would
the
you
fucking-
rate that?
I'll put a 7. I'm good at that. The dart spot though.
I've never seen anything like that before in
No,
a
me
wrestling
either.
match.
Me either. I'm not sure if it doesn't pin your opponent, and you're not gonna like be knocked out for a 3 count because darts are stuck in your body or whatever. But it still looked like
I just
I've
think the
never
initial-
seen it before.
I
Well,
just
because
think
then Vinny after that takes the dart and starts scraping Bruiser in the fucking head.
And
with
that's how
it.
he started bleeding.
Yeah, I mean everybody bled. It was exactly what it was. It was a friggin' fight, and I enjoyed it.
But then we had the fatal 4-way match for the ROH TV title: Shane Taylor versus Tracy Williams versus Flip Gordon versus the last second add-in Dragon Lee.
I mean, I was kind of disappointed by this match, actually. They did a lot of the spots and stuff with the high flyer guys. I just thought there was going to be more, and it just kind of ended to me.
It was a little bit of a quicker match, I'm going to say that. Shane Taylor did win the match. Let's see.
Over Flip, by the way, which is
Flip taking the pin was one of the other weirdest parts.
I thought Dragon Lee was coming in to take the pin, but
Literally everybody
know?
in this match, except for Shane, appears in some way, shape, or form later in the show.
but with Dragon Lee not eating the pin, and enables him to say, "I want to fight you next for the title." So
Which is kind of what they set up.
yeah, which is what they set up. Yeah.
Oh, and Flip getting his head fucking knocked to the top of the turnbuckle in a superplex position was pretty
That one was
fucking
good. That was really good.
good. Him and Tracy Williams fucking brawling. They hated each other.
And
Hey,
they go
I-
into it later, too.
I wrote down Williams and Gordon start fighting right away with 2 check marks next to it because I love that stuff.
Without even an intro.
And everybody else just sits there and says,
Yeah, go.
The
fight.
other 2 people
They're
just
just
watch
like-
it happen.
Okay.
Shane Taylor was pretty athletic in this match, actually. He did some decent spots. The other 3 you knew were going to do good spots. So
Yeah, I think Taylor did the absolute minimum he had to look like he's keeping up. 'Cause he can't keep up with those 3 guys.
no.
So, but he still got his got all the spots he needed to. Because he has to. I mean, like the weird thing about a fatal 4-way, it's very difficult to make sure all 4 guys look good, and everybody here looked good.
True.
Lee had that cool little spot where he stopped the count.
Yeah, so
Match is over.
let's just describe this, fellas. So, was it Flip pinning Tracy at that point in time, or Tracy pinning Flip?
I can't remember who was doing the pin.
But anyways, Dragon Lee gets into the ring, looks at the referee, and he's counting to 2, and he goes, "No, don't count."
He puts
and
his
then he-
hand
Please.
underneath the ref's hand so
And
he can't hit
then
the
he
mat.
kicks whoever's getting the pin.
Which
Yeah.
defeats the purpose because he could have just broken up the pin in the first place, but to do the comedy bit made it funnier.
Yeah.
That made it fun. I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive.
And the biggest savior of that, when you think about it match term wise, Shane Taylor wins the match later, so he would have lost the title later if he didn't do it.
That's true, because
Um,
Shane Taylor was not involved at that point.
Tracy Williams did a really cool snake eyes on somebody. It was I quoted it because it looked like I wonder if that was that superplex spot you were talking about.
The DDT spot.
Well, no, he did the DDT spot.
Yeah.
Fuck, that looked bad.
What was that spot?
Where he gave him the hardcore DDT outside.
Oh, yep.
Crap, my memory sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like sometimes the everything happens so quick. I don't want to miss anything, and having to write it down, and my head's not up.
No, I get that.
So
But anyways, I mean, Shane Taylor ends up winning with essentially like a rolling or Rikishi driver.
yeah, and he beat Flip Gordon with it.
And I give that a 7.5.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Bubba Ray part though.
I just had disappointment about
Well-
that. That's the next match.
Oh,
Yeah, the Bubba Ray part.
Like I
is the
said,
next
everybody
match.
well, that's the
else shows
Briscoes. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm way
after
off.
that, after you can just rip into that.
So we got
Whatever.
the ROH tag team title match: the Briscoes
ROH
Versus-
tag team something.
versus
Yeah.
Lifeblood.
It was good in the beginning when they were actually tagging in and out. My favorite spot was Bandito doing that flip over the turnbuckle
Yeah, that was really cool.
onto the Briscoes. That
That
was
was
really
sick.
cool. But to me, after a while, it's like we were talking about during the match when the referee lost control because he didn't know how to count or whatever it was.
we lost control.
And we didn't even know who was legal. Usually, I can keep up with that stuff, but
And
not this
even
time.
then, they even didn't know who was legal 2 seconds after they made a tag.
Yeah, I know. Like one guy gets tagged in, and then he's
I even called it because you called the tag, and I was like, well, then he hit the double stomp, and I was like, he's gonna go for the pin. He's not even a legal man. He just tagged out.
Well, the first when all that stuff first started to happen, Bandito hit a move on one of the Briscoes top rope and went for the pin. I think it was like a 450 or something, and then
They recognized
and
that.
then Haskins goes in and goes, oh wait a minute, after it was already a 1 count, he goes in and like, dude, you can't make the guy get up and then finish a 3 count come on. And
Yeah.
to me, it got ridiculous after that. I was just more, and I was making fun of it the rest of the way.
And then for the first time ever, Mark looked like he was less homeless than Jay.
And I agree with all that. Pretty much, I said it was a 7.5.
No.
I'm giving it a 5 tops, just because all these guys were still bumping like bosses, working as best they could.
I just think it could have been organized better.
But the organization of the match for sure, and the guys in the ring should have, on top of what you just said, the guys in the ring should have been able to fix it all up. Referee looked like a moron.
They even talked about the ref being new.
Yeah, the commentators did that. Yeah. So a world tag team title match had a rookie referee. So come on, I'm not trying to be literal about it, but like,
Two things, I kept pointing out the guy every time he had a match, but he didn't do bad in any of the other matches that he was reffing for, except that one kind of was like, oh, okay.
See, and I gave it a 7.5, and my notes are, the spots were good.
Yeah.
The ref was clueless. Question mark on tags and question mark on who's legal.
Well, even when they made tags, you weren't even sure if that was
The actual legal person, or if the other person
And
that
then
just tagged was legal.
Like I said, and then they flipped anyways, because they made a tag, one did a move, and then the other one that just tagged out went for a pin.
They would just do it on the fly.
There was a weird spot. I think both members of Lifeblood had a Briscoe down for a submission. One guy had him down for a pin, and it was at this point where
that's where I was back with that. I liked how you said it when it happened, how they got out of it was cool, but also the ref was calling the submission first, and then when
Instead
the
of
pin
the
happened,
pinfall.
he was calling the submission, and then the pinfall happened, and he started counting the pin like
it was
legal
weird.
things.
Yeah, it was strange. If we ever talk to Bruiser, I would like to know what he thought of this kind of thing and like what the booking was of it. It'd be severely interesting to know if he has any insight on that, or whoever was on this card. If we talk to anybody, like I just want to know, like how does that get booked like that? Did they call it? Is it called in the ring? Did it say fuck it? Let's just fuck around for about 15 minutes.
I just want to know whose idea was for Bruiser to take darts to the back and
because like this match could have got cut in half, and we could have got to the main event.
Then, of course, after the match, you have the Bully Ray
You weren't even
segment.
going to talk about this.
We weren't.
He wasn't originally.
Bully Ray starts beating down Lifeblood.
Is this generational gimmick?
This is his I hate millennials, they're all entitled little pricks gimmick.
Okay.
That's a gimmick?
It is his.
So he attacks Bandito, he attacks Mark Haskins. Tracy Williams comes out to make the save, gets his ass beat.
By Flip Gordon.
Flip Gordon comes out and smacks him in the back of the head with the umbrella, and Bully Ray's all shocked because they're supposed to hate each other.
And
Vicky Haskins slaps.
What are you gonna do?
Bully
You're just
Ray.
a female woman will be the quote of the
I
night.
thought he said feeble woman.
No, you said female woman.
Okay, I thought he said feeble.
He's a female woman.
I was like, those two things mean the same thing, and they both come up horribly a year later.
And then Flip Gordon, by the way, Flip Gordon is a master of being on every single segment. It's good for him.
And he showed up how many times in
This is the second show that he's popped up in multiple segments.
And he stares down Bully Ray for some reason. Friends, foes.
Oh, definitely folks.
Find out.
They talk about it.
And then, of course, Vicky Haskins slaps Bully Ray. Then Mark Haskins gets put through the table.
He's busted up in the mouth, too. Tries to, fold him like a freaking sandwich after he puts him through the table.
Yep.
And then we hear the F-bomb drop for a second time because his wife jumps into the ring, or jumps over the barricade. She gets pulled away by security because obviously she's not supposed to be there.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Let me in. It's my husband. Or whatever.
All Bully did was like, get her out of here.
Yeah.
She jumped the barricade. She's not supposed to be there.
I will give it a 5. Just for the athletic ability of the guys, and hell, even some different story driving segments are always cool. The Bully Ray thing is what I mean. So at least there's things moving, but as far as execution, meh.
The Bully Ray part of it, I'm not going to rate it at all. I'm not going to let that even contribute to what I rated the match. It's just a segment, and segments are cool depending on what they are. This one told a point because it sold what happens at an actual other pay-per-view coming up in the saga.
I also didn't particularly like the ending of the match itself. Because it hits the J Driller for the second time, but then Bandito's still right there, and Mark's just kind of pushing him away, and he's still right there.
Yeah. Like a Lucha Bros match.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, it was worse.
Yeah.
The Lucha Bros match, I can at least kind of follow what they're doing when they're not tagging and doing shit.
Like the Bully Ray just could have been accomplished on regular TV, I would imagine.
No, but the Bully Ray thing though, it continues because if I showed you all the other shows, he gets involved with these guys and Flip Gordon quite often. He'll interfere in their matches. He'll interfere after their matches.
I'll also say I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, ROH TV is a 1-hour show.
Yes.
So they don't have time to just put those.
But the thing is they continue these stories even at live events. They continue them on house shows. They continue them all over the place. So in that way, the crowd knows, hey, this is still a continuing thing, even though it might not be on TV.
Right.
So they do well with that. Because on the next pay-per-view Final Battle, that actually sets up a Bully Ray Mark Haskins match.
Oh, I would assume so.
Yeah. I mean,
Put his ass through a table.
Yeah. Told his wife he's feeble, or she's female.
You're a female woman. What are you going to do?
Would that be an insult in 2020 if you went up to a woman and said, "You're a female woman"?
Yeah, actually, it probably
It
would
might be. Depending on who you talk to.
I think the weird thing is, because he says, "You're a female woman, what are you going to do?" And she literally does the one thing every female woman in wrestling ever did.
Give him a slap.
Which was smack him across the face.
Yeah, 5 at best for me.
So we got the Ring of Honor World Title match: Matt Taven versus Roosh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was good.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
All right, so this is Albert's first impression of Roosh and Matt Taven. What'd you think?
Matt Taven is a fantastic heel. He looks good flaunting he's the world champion. He looks good coming to the ring and telling you that you're horrible or you're terrible or whatever insult he wants to tell you. He says, not only that, he will back it up and beat you. So that's the best heel you can ever have.
I can say the same thing you just said about him being a great heel. Roosh is a good face. People.
And that's that's the other half of this equation. You've also heard me say this more than once. The heel versus face has to be established. Sometimes we don't get these in some of these shows, but that's par for the course. If I saw ROH's style, I'm not going to knock it.
But hey, think about it this way too. Matt Taven is such a good heel that before that match, they actually showed a promo for his DVD. And he said we should be buying his DVD instead of sitting on our mother's couches.
He did say that. Well, we're in easy chairs, so whatever.
Drop the mic right there.
Yeah. Roosh looked fantastic as a face. He came out in that all white garb, and he's got the long hair. And
you want to pronounce it?
Pronounce what?
Came out in the all white clothing. Who is he?
I don't understand.
His fucking the Spanish name that he came out in.
Oh yeah. El Toro Blanco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Obviously, he's the baby face. He has the baby face.
He looks like
moveset.
a star.
He looks like a. It's like what I said about Tanahashi and Ibushi and how they just look like they're baby faces, and it works out well for him. He that little bump he took with the Falcon Arrow where he took it to the floor.
That was sweet.
He took that bump like a boss, and then he took all 3 dives from Taven.
Taven took a good bump off the ring.
The
table,
fucking
ring announce
DDT
table.
on the ring table there with the fucking ring bell sitting there too.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a regular table.
And to me,
I still thought there was supposed to be more because he walked across the tables after he did it and put his foot over him like he was going to do something else, and then it just got off the table. It's like, oh, that was a little weird.
it was just him saying, yeah, I got you right now.
Well, the thing is, though, is actually if you looked at it a little closely, that table that Taven was on was about to actually potentially break because it was bending.
Well, because he put.
I couldn't tell.
So he might have had another spot he was supposed to try to do, but he didn't want to break that table.
I thought he was going to do one of those running spots that WWE loves to do where they run across the announce tables.
Oh, geez, you have like 2 steps on those tables in Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, because those are small tables.
I like the back and forth. It was just enough to keep me to go, oh god, Spot Fest. It was just enough. There was some points where there was no selling, but I'm beginning to think that I'm not going to worry about it too much with Ring of Honor because I think that's just the style, and not to mention Evolution of Wrestling has led to this, so I'm not going to knock it as much as maybe Jim Cornette might.
I was just about to say that.
But there has to be points where if you take a bump with from a move like say a superplex or whatever, you shouldn't be able to get up right away and start punching the other guy right away. I mean, it just absolves all the impact that maneuver does to begin with. It takes away from it.
I agree with that.
And that happens more often, but I'm not trying to change the wheel. So if they want to do it and it's cool and it works, fair enough. It still looks really fun to watch. It's still fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm very surprised that Roosh won.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't fun to watch.
Correct. So yeah,
I'm not just gonna sit here and watch something I don't like.
yeah. I'm surprised that Roosh won. It looked like Matt Taven was. I'm surprised. I thought Matt Taven was going to keep on running with the title. I didn't think Roosh looks like somebody who was going to win the belt, but I guess he was more over.
I just forgot how long Taven was champion for this time, so I didn't realize that's when he lost. I knew Roosh eventually got the title.
Because Roosh is currently the champion.
Yeah. So I didn't know how close this was. I know PCO takes it too.
Yep.
The Roosh has it twice.
Yep.
Oh, he has it twice. Okay.
He has this one. And
Roosh has 2 title reigns, so he has the one now, or that he won at this show, and he has his current title reign. And PCO is in the middle.
Yeah, he dropped it to PCO.
Are we gonna be able to watch that? Because I want to see how PCO wins the title. I have to. We have to watch that at some point. Just as like a one-off match, like we did with Bruiser.
Oh, we'll watch it as a show because the whole show is honestly pretty solid.
We just gotta get some non-ROH stuff in here.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're doing TNA next, so that's no
Well,
problem.
Impact.
The TNA Impact is the same thing.
It's Impact, because I still think what Impact did in Hard to Kill is different than the TNA stuff I showed you last week.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. So I mean, like, we're gonna be watching more matches of these guys, but you guys have good impressions of Matt Taven and Roosh, eh?
Oh, I've watched him for years. I don't think he could have been doing this title reign 6 years ago.
I mean, just compare it to that match that you and I reviewed of Ospreay and him.
Yeah, that's different. I think that's the first time I liked him.
But I gave this particular match an 8.5 out of 10.
Agreed, because I have to put it below Jay Lethal and Gresham. I didn't
I'm
go
going,
to 9.
I'm going with the 8 as well.
So, overall, would you guys recommend this show to someone that hadn't seen Ring of Honor?
I have to because I'm impressed.
Well, this is the guy who didn't see much of Ring of Honor before we started doing this. So.
If you don't watch as much wrestling as you can, and you say you're a wrestling fan, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So watch this. Watch these
If you
shows.
just watch WWE, you're not a wrestling fan. If you just watch AEW, you're not a wrestling fan.
If you just watch Impact, you're not a wrestling fan. Or if you just watch Ring of Honor, you're not a wrestling fan.
At least, or like if you just say
Give yourself a variety.
I won't say that. I agree with what you just said. I was gonna say it's not that if you don't watch it, it's more of if you say everything else but what you like sucks.
And you have to give it 0 chances.
That's
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
So
Because
now,
every company has something worth watching. Like AJ Styles and Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah,
From
there's like
SmackDown
that
was something worth watching.
You go back to the Monday Night Wars. There were reasons why you watched WCW or you watched WWF. Oh, I'm sorry. Get the F out, right? Anyway, like you wanted WCW for the cruiserweights, or did you watch WWE because you wanted to see Sable's tits, or did you go to WCW because you liked the NWO, or did you go to WWF because like the Generation X or Stone Cold Steve Austin? There was all kinds of things that they had going on, and that's what made wrestling fun to watch. I mean, they took it more seriously than the fans did, but who won? The fans won because we saw great wrestling for like 4 years straight.
I use this though because I was saying like I said AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan had a great match with SmackDown. They also had that piss poor Jeff Hardy and Sheamus segment because I disagree with everything they're doing with Jeff Hardy right now.
I thought Sheamus selling the pee in his face was fantastic. I laughed out loud.
But all right, gentlemen. So we got a few minutes to burn here. I'm gonna just kind of go through champions in Ring of Honor history, and you guys see if you guys think that this is a good list of people. There's only 27 champions.
Wait, but before you start, how long has ROH been in existence?
2002. Same as Tina.
So 18 years.
So the guy with the most days as champion total over 2 title reigns is Jay Lethal at 707.
Which is why I said having Gresham go over Queen was more for Gresham than it was for Lethal.
Samoa Joe, 1 title reign, 645 days.
Goddamn.
And that was during the CM Punk draw.
Nigel McGuinness, 1 title reign, 545 days.
Desmond Wolfe.
That's amazing.
Bryan Danielson, 1 title reign, 462 days.
Also, that's a TNA show we should probably watch at some point. Desmond Wolfe and Kurt Angle.
One of these days, yes. Adam Cole, 3 title reigns, only 3-time champion at the moment, 445 days.
Did he get one for a year? Because like the year's the benchmark for like a great champion.
He did not get a year benchmark, but he got, I want to say, 8 months.
Did he leave right after the last title loss?
Yes. Austin Aries, the very first 2-time Ring of Honor champion, 419 days. Jay Briscoe, 2-time champion, 375.
And one of those, he had to give up the title.
Yep. Kevin Steen, 1 title reign, 328 days.
That's what that whole DVD was.
Yep.
Davey Richards, 1 reign, 321 days. Takashi Morishima, 1 title reign, 231 days.
You got an order of going from the most to the lowest.
Yep.
Tyler Black, 1 reign, 210 days.
Rollins, burn it down.
Dalton Castle, 1 reign, 197 days.
197 days.
A lot of injuries in that, though. So a lot of shows he wasn't
I
on.
I didn't think it was that long.
Roderick Strong, 1 reign, 189 days. Xavier, 1 reign, 182 days.
Who was that?
He's somebody.
He's someone in the very early Ring of Honor years. We'll eventually get to him.
I was gonna say if we get around to watching either of those Joe Punk matches, he has matches on those cards.
Okay.
Roosh, current champion. There's obviously explanation or asterisk by it because of COVID-19.
And
2
it's
title
technically
reigns,
still going.
183 days plus. Cody, 1 reign, 175 days. Matt Taven, 1 reign, 174 days. Christopher Daniels, 1 reign, 105 days.
This motherfucker marked like hell when Daniels won the title.
Eddie Edwards, 1 reign, 99 days.
He sucks.
PCO, 1 reign, 78 days.
Yeah, I didn't think he would hold the belt for long.
Michael Elgin, 1 reign, 76 days.
He basically got himself, because that's right before he left, too.
Jerry Lynn, 1 reign, 71 days. Homicide, 1 reign,
Homicide,
56
really?
days. Low Key, 1
Low
reign,
Key.
56 days.
I brought that one up. He doesn't know who Loki is either.
CM Punk, 1 reign, 55 days. James Gibson, 1 reign, 36 days.
It's a lot lower than I thought it was.
And the champion with the least amount of time at the belt, Kyle O'Reilly, 1 reign, 33 days.
So fucking Adam Cole
The entire
and
Undisputed
Bobby
except for
O'Reilly
Bobby Fish.
and
Kyle O'Reilly.
Fish never
and
got
Roderick
it.
Strong
Sorry,
all had the
except
belt.
for Fish.
I will say this though, so that's really cool because like sometimes there's transitional champions and all
Everybody
different
had it
companies.
for at least a month.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean a month isn't that long. I mean sometimes it's necessary. Like PCO holding the belt for like 3 years, no way.
Well, see.
Wait.
Okay.
So, but like all the major players are able to not only win their belt but defend it for an exorbitant amount of time. It's better than hot potato in the belts for sure.
I'll agree with that.
Well, that's where I was going to go about the hot potato thing, because that's where, like, I'll bring up why I hated Dean Ambrose for so long. Seth
Yep.
Rollins won the title from Reigns at Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Counts as a title reign. He held the title for, like, fucking a minute, because Dean Ambrose came out and took it from him.
Well, that's happened more than once.
I
even
know, but
before
like,
them, so.
I hate that idea. It's like, oh, you got a world title reign. Imagine if they gave it to you and everybody got so happy and it was your first time winning it and they
Yeah.
pulled that shit and you never got it again.
But now you guys want to hear some fun stats.
Absolutely.
So, Low-Key, your very first Ring of Honor champion.
Okay.
He won a Fatal 4-Way, 60-minute Iron Man match
Wow.
against Christopher Daniels, Spanky, a.k.a. Brian Kendrick,
Yep.
and Doug Williams
I don't know who Doug Williams is.
in 2002 at Crowning a Champion.
It's very similar to, it wasn't a 60-minute Iron Man match, it's very similar to AJ Styles' first X Division
But it's
championship.
a Fatal
A Fatal
4-Way.
four-way.
I'm saying, like, other than the Iron Man match, the Fatal 4-Way part
Samoa Joe
is the same.
won the championship March 22nd, 2003. Lost the championship December 26th, 2004.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Yeah, and all those CM Punk matches happened during that.
Adam Cole is the only person so far to win the championship 3 times and at a non-Ring of Honor event, aka at New Japan's event
He won the belt there.
at the G1 Climax.
Gotcha.
Let's see, what else? Samoa Joe was the first person to defend the ROH World title in the UK, making it an official World Championship.
Because they got to go somewhere else.
And
Japan didn't count?
well,
it didn't
Japan at that time didn't have it. They didn't have a working relationship
when-
until like 2009.
When Joe was
10.
champion, it was 2003 to 2004, which is well before.
right. That's right. I'm sorry.
So,
And actually, shortly after Joe lost the title in 04, it went into 05, and that's when he joined TNA.
true.
Yeah, this I have to say that these first 2 Ring of Honor cards that I've watched, I've seen highlights of matches here and there, and I've read about it and everything, but like they're it's a breath of fresh air. I mean, I watched WWF since I was a fucking kid, and WCW, NWA is probably the same time I was watching. Yeah, WrestleMania 3 was my first pay-per-view. But I think I was watching beforehand. I forget what the first. Obviously Hulkamania, all the way through the NWA with Flair and Sting, and then the Monday Night Wars and everything in between. And after WCW left, I really didn't have an option because I didn't know where to watch Ring of Honor, nor had I heard of it for a few years.
I didn't even know what TNA was until 06.
I knew what it was. I knew Jeff Jarrett started it, but I didn't know anything about it. And then Ring of Honor comes along, and there's other companies, and until. But I have to say it. But until you wanted to do this podcast and we got together to do this, I mean, it's definitely helped me get interest back into watching wrestling again, even if it's WWF for a night.
I've been watching more Ring of Honor since we started doing this.
And the thing is like, we're just gonna keep on going, keep trucking, keep watching like the older stuff until the fans start coming back in the arena.
So when there's new live shows with fans,
then we'll start doing more live pay-per-view reviews.
I do want to do Fighter Fest though. I do. That's my personal selection. We'll do Fighter Fest after the second one.
All right. So we're gonna do what's that TNA event we're doing?
Hard to Kill. So that's the last pay-per-view that Impact ran before No Fans.
Right.
It's also where Tessa won the title. It's also why we haven't seen her because she's stuck in Mexico.
Yep, with her boyfriend.
And that's why they brought the TNA Heavyweight Championship back, and that's what Moose has.
Yep. So that card is gonna be
instead of stripping her.
It's gonna be a treat for you guys to watch because you guys haven't been included in Impact in quite a bit of time.
No.
You, Albert, never. You, Legend, it's been a while.
Nope. And the biggest name I know anything from Impact is Brian Cage now, and he's in AEW.
But we'll see people like Rob Van Dam on that card, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Moose, The North.
I know the Moose. I know the North.
Obviously, you know Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Brian Cage is on that show. Daga, Tessa, Sammy.
That might be the show Brian Cage got hurt on. That's why he didn't debut in January like he was supposed to.
But
looking forward to it.
I feel like we have only one way to end this.
Bruiser.
Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
Thanks for the memories. We're going to have more.
Good times. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.